Imagine Jose Mourinho being a right back and also being Daniel Levy all at the same time. It's kind of where we are. Either that or I'm just blindly stupid. Today, my schedule's pretty full on. My wake-up time is 12 minutes past 5. And then, yeah, it's just about getting out of the door as quickly as possible so that I don't have a chance to change my mind. I head into a gym that I train at in central London. It's a CrossFit gym that is sort of based around your compound lifting. I've been strength lifting here at Surrey Storm for the best part of 6 years. You know, I have a real good compound base. I'm a really strong athlete. Therefore, I'm safe when I'm in there. I know what I'm doing. I can lift relatively well, I guess, although I'm definitely not one of the better ones. It's just really nice to go somewhere and have someone not talk to you about netball. And I know that kind of may sound a bit silly considering, you know, it's my passion and it's what I do and it's my job and it's pretty much my life. But for me, it's a really nice mental escape. You know, my entire life is based around netball and it's really important for me that I have a mental release to just go and do something for me. I actually don't eat before I go. It's very, very early. And then straight after is just about refueling my body. So that sets me up for the day because obviously straight after I'm very hungry. A breakfast for me will either be some sort of egg combination with a carbohydrate, so maybe scrambled egg on toast, poached egg on toast. My lunch is generally a sandwich, a grab and go style lunch, just because it's either really late in the middle of 2 training sessions or whilst I'm in a meeting. My snacks are generally centred around fruit, vegetables. Blueberries are my favourite thing in life, so if I don't go through a punnet a day, there's been a problem. And then my dinner will be some kind of combination of either turkey or chicken, mixed vegetables, and I try and prep those meals quite far in advance so that I can literally grab and go. It doesn't really matter what day I'm on, you'll probably see me with some Tupperware and some turkey in it. Right, to the office. My world can't stop just because I'm up really early or here really late. That side of it is probably a little bit of an unknown or the side that people wouldn't really consider that much. You know, although I am an athlete, the vast majority of the reason why I'm in this building is for my director role. Basically, as soon as I walk through the door, it's very much sort of business as usual. I wouldn't say it's easier or harder to sit like an office-based job. It's just completely different. I'm not sure I like it very much, to be honest, but just because it's completely different. And, you know, first and foremost, I'm an athlete. First port of call, answering emails, just to make sure that I've checked bases with everyone and there's no major disasters that I need to sort. And then we have some meetings surrounding all of the things going on behind the scenes. You know, is the catering taken care of? Have we spoken to marketing to make sure everything is where it needs to be? Do we have the correct resources? How is our kit coming along? What about our sponsorships? And then you've got your finances and your budgeting and everything in between all of those. So I have a lot of notebooks with a lot of different lists in. It's absolutely not perfect, and as with any job, there's lots of firefighting with things that happen behind the scenes. Because you can get really bogged down in this job and you know, all of the day-to-day stresses, especially when, you know, I'll be honest, when results aren't going your way or if you're not performing well personally as an athlete, you know, that can be really tough. I'll then focus on the game that we had that weekend. I'll go to do some video analysis of that game, and I'll also do statistics of that game as well and produce a report for each player. I'm not immune to that either. I'm in that as well as a player. I think the perception of netball as a whole is completely different from what the actual reality is. Like if you turn on the TV when there's a netball game live on Sky Sports, you would think nothing other than, God, these girls must be fully professional because the way that they play, the intensity, the standard. And the reality is, you know, we're not full-time athletes. We are not paid a full-time wage. Pretty much everybody works a full 12-hour day and then they come into your training environment in the evening after all of that. And you only come together twice a week. That's 4 hours, which is nothing when we're splitting hairs over the tiniest of margins in these 60-minute netball games. I think we're probably further away from the sport being professionalised than people really think because there's just so much that comes into it. And I don't think that will be in my playing career, but in the next generation's playing career, that will 100% be a thing. It has grown, there is still more to do, but I think that's the same with unfortunately, the majority of women's sports. Me being an athlete and doing this job all at the same time can be a curse because it means I have to be very, very stringent with my time, but it means that I get to escape to the gym, and that to me is my outlet. the endorphins that I get from working really hard, and it gives me an escape to get away from my desk and, you know, no, you can't contact me in the next hour and I'm not going to answer any of your emails because it's really important I get this session done, is a real big stress reliever for me. And don't get me wrong, there are times where I'm a bit like, oh God, I can't think of anything I'd rather not do than head into the gym right now. But that's just an initial moment, and as soon as I'm in there and I've done my warm-up, it's like, right, yeah, like, I'm ready and let's just get it done. You know, if you put your mind to it and you work hard, you can be in and out in an hour. You know, people always say, oh, I don't have time, or, you know, I'm just so busy. And yeah, I get it, but that is such a lack of perception. Like, you do. It's just about putting your mind to it, and before you have a chance to talk yourself out of it, get in there and start. And that's basically how I operate my life. I'm the youngest of 5, and I think from a really young age I was taught to run fast and eat even quicker, because if you was the weak link in the group, then God, you was either gonna get WWE'd on the sofa or you was probably gonna get your food eaten. I've always been pretty sporty, you know, I've been involved in all sorts of different sports. I used to horse ride from 2. I did mixed martial arts for 14 years until I got my black belt in jiu-jitsu. I was always that kid at school that was like, oh, you need someone to do athletics, Mikki will do it. You need someone to get involved in rounders, oh, Mikki will do it. As soon as I picked up a netball, I was like, God, this is cool. I just love tearing around a netball court. So I guess that's all I've known, really. When it comes to trying to have some sort of work-life balance, it's a bit of a myth, to be honest, and something that I'm still trying to get the hang of. I certainly try as hard as I can to not take my work home with me, so that I do have some decompression time. And, you know, when I am spending time with my partner, it is, you know, actual time, and I'm not distracted by emails or my laptop or, you know, whatever's going on. And I think that's really important. So another plate that is constantly spinning in the background of all of the different jobs that I do is the University of Surrey Netball programme. I head that up. I am in charge of the University of Surrey first team, so I'll follow them on a match day, home and away. They train 3 times a week and then compete on Bucks Wednesdays as well. I don't think my approach changes that much in terms of how I see the university programme as to how I see Super League. Obviously the sessions are slightly different, the intensity might be slightly different. A lot of the girls that I deal with are nurses, paramedics, vets, so for them this is probably a real welcome escape. You know, they work in A&E departments and in ambulances all day and have come straight off of a night shift and roll into training, so when I think I've had a long day, it sort of puts me to shame, really. Well done! I mean, the best part of a day like today is without question the coaching side of things. That's what I know how to do, and there's nothing better than being able to make somebody achieve something that they potentially didn't think they was capable of. 99.9% of the time I come away from that being like, yeah, that's the reason why I do it. I think this job can be a lot of things, and you know, you can get really bogged down in the day-to-day stresses of it, but I very, very often have to remind myself that, you know what, I am one of 10 people in this entire league that get to say I do what I do. And that's all I ever wanted to do from probably the age of about 17. I think in the mix of all that you do, you can forget that, you know, that actual playing part of it is like 2% of your entire job. And that's the most important bit. So, you know, it's just making sure that you don't forget that, you know, in not being overawed by the day-to-day, you know, office stress, meetings. You know, what we're actually here for is to play netball games, to improve in netball games, and ultimately to win netball games. For as long as I can, I will continue to juggle.